How's everybody doing today? It's me, Kat. I am back yet with another video. How's it going? Y'all know how I am, how I do. We're going to do what we do. We're going to talk about, we're going to start this video from where we left off at. We were on 9/28. We're starting this video from 9/28 when I was showing you a specific pattern at that time. And I told you to put it down, put it in your memory bank. Your memory bank is the book. Get a book. Write down different patterns and store it because it's going to be useful when you got to go back in and you want to know how can you get a number. So we're starting this video off from the last video. We were on 486. That's the number we were on. We were on 486, and I was showing you something that I've came up with to see something I kind of seen where you could figure out where you're going or where they might be going, rather. So, with that being said, we're going to take our 486. We're just going to add it. We got 18. There, it was the 20. That was the 28th. Make sure. Yeah. So, we were looking for what could they possibly do for that night number. So we had broke this down, and we were furthermore breaking it down. We were breaking it down. So if you want to know where I'm getting these numbers from, you got to rewind it and screenshot this. And that's where those numbers come from. So that's where those numbers come from. There's no switching up on them. If you look each time, each video, it is what it is. So that day, that next day, to me, I feel like they ran a whole muck, but they really didn't. So I got I wrote that there. And because that day is gone, we already know what came out. We already know what they did. We already know what the next number was. So when that number came out, 257, I'm like, what? Now I could see the 2, the 5, and maybe, okay, yeah, the 7. But just naturally looking at it, I wouldn't have thought that. Just naturally looking at that, I wouldn't have never assumed that that's where they were going to go with that. But, you know, as I can see where they got it from. So me, I wanted to know where they got it from. So when you want to know where they got something from, it's up to you to to go back. It's up to you to go back on lottery posts and see what they use to bring what. And I did that, and that's how I saw, okay, well, that number brings a 5 or 7. So if you were looking for the 4 and the 6, so if you went back looking for a 4, 8, 6, which is not like you're going to automatically see it. So say if you even started from the bottom where we're at towards today's date, and then you just went back up, you would have had to look for it. 4, 8 or 8, 6. So like, I mean, you could just scroll. 8, 6 was on the back end. Even though that's the 8, 6 right there. 8, 6, 4, even though that's the 8, 6, 4. I don't know. I don't really look at it too much on the back. Well, I have not looked at it on the back end, but you can. But I have not. So, in doing so, you still looking. So right here, I see it twice. So I might think they bring a 5 because right here you got a 5 before it even led to this 4, 8. 4, 8, you got a 5, 4, but you got a 7. They just carried that 4 down, if you ask me. But you got a 5 and a 7. That was on from the 29th. You got one right here, 4, 8. That brought a 5, 7. Even though the 8, they split the 4, 8. And this was the whole number right here, 527. And you almost had the number. It was a 486, but this is 448. So I don't think I see no 86s on the back end. I see one on the front end. And a 7 still wound up coming out. So, like I said, you know, this is it's a tricky game anyway. So that's probably how they wind up getting that 2, 5, 7. It's probably how they wind up getting it. But you still, that's just another way, another method of checking to see, because I didn't get that number. I was like one off. Even though a 7 was right here. I didn't use the 7. I used the 6. And almost don't count. It just doesn't. Now, I did not use this because I've just been strictly counting from up here. But had I used it, I would have got that. So your hit sum is a 7. You definitely had a 2 next to it. You didn't have a 5. Buy it. The 5 was pretty much out of sight. Now, what if I would have flipped this around? Let me see. I definitely would have had a 7 off of there. And I would have had a 2 off of there. And that 5 was still, saying it's still a long shot because it's all the way up here. And it's not even by the hit sum. So, that was just one where you had to know what pull what term to what. It was just that simple. That was just one of them where you had to know what number brings what number. That wasn't the first time they did it. They did it earlier that week as well. I just didn't go over. Well, I did show it. You probably don't remember. Because I already had the numbers down in a line. So, we had that 257. And that equals 14. So, we're still using whatever it was I said. I thought I wrote a 1 right here. I did. I know I put a 1 right there. I think I did. I didn't mean to. I surely did. So that's the next day. You would have this was your night number, so you would have been trying to figure out what was going to happen the next day, which was the 29th. So you got 8 equals 2 or 3. Now, you could have won this ways, any kind of way. I wanted a couple ways. The first number 923, I think the number came out 932. The number was 931. The fireball was a 2. It was 931. Fireball was a 2, so you could have got it 912, 932, 923, however. But that's just the way it came. And because I wrote that up, I had wrote it, and I told you guys to write it. This is just an example. I said write it down, and just use these to make a couple combos. That's how you would have got the hit in more ways than one. But I'm quite sure. Just because when I do something online, I feel like they're going to make sure it don't happen the next time. To me, it can make you a non-believer if it wants to. Wasn't nobody on watching anyway, so that's neither here nor there. So, okay, so we got the 257 that night. If you were trying to see what happened the next day, we would have did the same thing I was talking about. I put a 1 there because I messed that up. Because I did 1 plus 3 is 4. But we're doing a 4. So 4 is 9 and 4 is 7. So, and then we did this. So say if we use this little thing here, like I did, you would have got a 9-1, or you would have got your 2-3. So, like I said, the number came out 931. 931. Fireball was 2. So if you played 932, you still got paid. If you played 912, which I did, 2, you still got paid. Even if you went down here and played 912, 923, 913, you still got paid. Even if you did it this way. That way. Now, like I said, you could have used any of these numbers to make a few combos or whatever. But that was just what it did. So, like I said, these are just a couple patterns to write in your book. And then you're going to write down the number that, naturally you're going to write down the number that came. And you could put what the fireball was beside it. That way when you looking back at this, or you will circle or go whatever with it to know, okay, that's the pattern. That something that could possibly come out. So you got that 931 on the same day. And all they did was come straight with a number that I played. So we got 931. And that's a 13. So what if you would have thought they was going to do this? Or that? They said, nope, we're not doing it. for the evening. They say we're going a different pattern, like they always do. Sorry, it's sloppy. So they took this whole number right here. It was the number was 912. They took the whole number. They just took the whole number. They just took it. Now, just because I'm not doing a workup or just because I'm not doing all the tools that I use, don't mean that you're not going to do it. This is just a backtrack. This is just recap finishing. We're just finishing the talking about what I was going over. This is just finishing that video. That's what we're doing. We're just finishing that video. That's what we're doing. So if you would have had all this, you would have never seen nothing in that. Now naturally you still gonna see what your 6 equals. That equals a 4 or 5. You know. They could have added that back to the 9, but they didn't. They just used this. Or they just used all of this right here. And it's, you know, that's funny. Because actually I never seen them use all that before. They just used all that. There was nothing in here that can tell you anything. Nothing. Now I'm quite sure it was something in the rundown. But it's nothing. It was nothing in here. They just used this whole thing. And they brought it back. They brought one of the numbers back from that morning. 912. It was straight. It was straight. That's what they took. They took that pair straight. Now on this one, I did, so I can't sit up here and say that I didn't do this, because I did. That's how I came up with the 9. That's how I came up with the 9-3, to be honest. And I also think I came up with the 2 that way. Because I had the whole number written down, even though they just brought down that 2. It was 9-1-3. But I think I did. Hold on. Because this was the sheet that I had from that morning. So these was my numbers. These were my numbers that I was going to play. So I had it more than one way. And this is just showing you the adding part of it that I was doing. That's what I did. So 2 plus 7 was the 9. They could even, yeah. Same way. 5 minus 2 equals 3. They could even do 7 minus 5 equals 2. And you would have the whole number. The whole number written down there. But like I said, it was a 1, but you still got paid. You still got paid with the fire. With the 2. I had came up with a 9-3 pair. I'm trying to figure out how did I come up with that 9-3 pair. Hold on. How did I come up with that 9-3 pair? Because I did something. I don't remember. I did something. That's why I say I always write it down and put it to the side. Because I did come up with that 9-3 pair. Oh, you know what? I think. Oh, okay. I think I was looking right here. That might have been why I wrote that 9-3. I'm not sure. I gotta go back at it. I gotta look back and see if that's how I got it or if I got it by adding something. 2 minus 5 is 3. I might have just got it 9-3 like that. Just doing the 9-3 from that number, from subtracting, but from this. But that's what I did. And just took down the 2. Even like I said, it was a 1, but I don't see in here how I would have got a 1. I don't. Okay, so we were on this number and how they brought that 912 straight. So just to think, if you would have wrote some of this stuff down or tried to even go back over it or just rewatch the video or whatever, you still would have been coming up with something. Because I said make a couple combos out of this stuff up here. You still would have turned out with something. And you use all your other tools that I gave you. Or other tools that you've already learned or already may have picked up. So, you still on the 29th. You're on the 29th evening, right? No, because this was the evening. That was the evening. You're on the 30th. So, which is this morning, which is today. So even though this is the 30th, and I don't think they was going to be doing that again. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I say if I still wrote it down now. So 2 and 7, and then 2, 5. So we got a 7, and then we got our numbers here. You got it here, and you got a 5. And you see they pulled a rabbit out the hat. That number was 747. That number was 7, 4. Who would have known? 7 or 7. Who would have known that's what they was gonna do? You never know. You got your 912. But who would have known they was gonna pull a 4? 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. 12 minus 7 is 5. Two minus 1 is 1. 12 minus 1 is 11. 1 plus 2 is a 3. They probably took that 3 back and didn't ever use it, added it to make it a 1. It's no telling. You got your total 12. But either way it go, and the fireball was a 9. Your fire was a 9. Which, and I can't say nothing, no matter when you still get paid. So what if they're off of it? What if they're, I'm not going to say off of this. What if they're off of, well, you can't say that yet until tonight. So I'm going to say, what if they're off of this? You can't say that yet. You can't. Now, there's something I noticed that they did the last 2 times. It seemed like they took this number and did that. They took that number and did that. On some old sneaky shit. Now I'm just looking at it. That's real funny. Because I did videos on them doing that number and using that. But now it looked like they took that. And I noticed that the last time, but I didn't really elaborate on it. Because that's what it looked like. Because it was 747 and 749 still gave you the pay. So, and, you know, I know a lot of people probably like, oh, well, she only do Illinois. Oh, well, you do your own state. The number's still going to work the same. You just got to figure out which pattern figure out which pattern your state on. Figure out which pattern your state is doing. That's up to you to figure it out. You're gonna have to do exactly what I did. The video when I said we're going back and we're finishing. We're just adding the last two videos. The last video and this video is a connection. Is connecting. We're just doing these two videos, which I do it all the time anyway. You gotta know what's going on. You have to know what's going on in order for you to get ahead. If you don't know, you lost. You lost, and all you doing is playing a birthday that probably ain't never came out, and God knows when, like mine. They pulled yesterday. What I said, it came out 912. And I've been sitting up there saying, God knows forever when my birthday would come out. My birthday never comes out. But I've been playing it. That's how I hit it. I hit it that before they got that. Because you still got it the same. You still got it with the morning. Who knows they was going to do a morning and midday with this number. Because the fire was a 2. So you still got it. They gave it to you twice. And I complained. It's like I complain and complain and complain about it. And they bring it 2 times in one day. Ain't that crazy? I say my birthday never hits in Illinois. And as soon as I get talking about it, they brought it twice in one day. That's crazy. Crazy. And the reason why I'm not even elaborating on the trees is because they're doing what they want to do right now. It's just what it is. So we got this number. So we got 18. Now, what if they decide to do this today, like they did the other day? You be prepared. Not saying they will, but you be prepared. What if they do? Any one of these? Make sure that's right. Nope. I remember these one day. So, but remember, we're gonna elaborate on something else just for today. So, not saying that's gonna happen, but what if it do? Um, okay. What if we got? Oh, I messed that up. This right here. That look like a repeat. So who knows? So with that being said, I got this. That's just if you want to elaborate on something. I got this. That's like I said, it's just if you want to elaborate on something that could possibly happen. Not saying it will, but one thing you got to do is make sure you're on offense and defense with yourself. Make sure you go look and see what this will bring and what that'll bring off of the post. So I got, so say if I got, that's just from, say if I subtract it. And then I'll probably drop down one of these. I'm just saying. Not saying that that's it, but okay, so what if they added? See, we got all them damn ones over there. So what if they took that one? What if they took that one? And what if they used that? Or what if they used that? Not saying they is. Or what if they use this one for all of them? Boom, 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 boom. All right, so I'm gonna get up off of here until next time. Because I need to elaborate on some things and make a couple calls. So we'll check back in. We'll check back in until tomorrow. Until next time.